ColdBeer, and let's start with Against the Storm. This is a roguelite city builder set in a gloomy dark fantasy world. Artistically, this is one of the coolest RTS city builder games I have ever seen. The style is very original and the atmosphere is breathtaking. I didn't like only one thing: here it never stops raining. I hate rain in real life because I wear glasses and this combo is never a good thing. But in game it feels like a never-ending visual interference. Some people may like it, some don't, so it's not a big deal in general. Anyway, here you are, a pioneer sent into the wilds to establish and manage new settlements inhabited by smart beavers, lizards and humans. Weird choice of races, but I really approve of that. I'm so tired of elves, dwarves and various combos of demons and undead. Lizards and beavers are awesome and you will feel like one of them. You will care about their survival, about their happiness and will protect them from danger. Well, not always. This is a roguelite after all, so the occasional defeat is programmed in the genre of the game. After a bitter end, the game will instantly offer you better buildings and devices, so your next run would be better, and the cycle continues until another bitter defeat. Your goal is to survive long enough and gather the valuable resources necessary to rebuild and upgrade your city. It's the only safe haven against the Blightstorm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. On Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews, and I can give it 10 ColdBeers out of 10 without much doubt. Dark Souls Remastered. I don't know if there is anyone who has never heard about the game, but I know that there are plenty of people who have never tried it. You know, because of the fear that the game is too difficult, people are deliberately cutting themselves from this amazing experience. And they are absolutely right. Mental health is not something we have a lot these days, so if you don't have masochistic tendencies and find dying over and over again uninteresting, the game is not for you. But maybe you need a challenge. Maybe you lack some achievement in your life and completing Dark Souls Remastered is the thing that will finally raise your self-esteem. You know, then you could tell every friend of yours that you have beaten Dark Souls and they will be like,
"Wow, really nice, wow."
Usually they will never ask you that, but you will tell them anyway. People who complete a Dark Souls are vegans of the gaming world. There is no way that you finish the game and never told that to anyone. 8-bit Hordes. Basically, this is a Warcraft if it would be made using the Minecraft engine. You'll find two factions, the Dark Orcs and their undead friends versus those annoying humans, dwarves, elves and all that puny stuff in general. You will collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of evil or, you know, pathetic good, and ultimately crush your opponents, or be crushed by them. Game offers 24 offline campaign missions, 12 co-op missions to play with your friends and 10 multiplayer maps that support up to 8 roles online, literally and figuratively. Although honestly you will never see 8 players online. I'm not even talking about this amount of players in multiplayer, so if you want some player versus player battles, you're gonna need a friend. But don't worry, AI is present as well. It has multiple difficulty options, also it can play in a team with you or destroy you. It is quite capable of doing that, believe you me. 8-bit Hordes is easy to understand and is user-friendly in general. If you like RTS games, there is no doubt that you may like this one as well. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. More than 20 years ago I bought some PC gaming magazine and it had a CD with a Tony Hawk 2 demo inside. You know, at that time nobody had internet, so CDs that came with journals kept us up to date. I installed the demo and super unexpectedly it became one of the best games I have ever played. I played and played and played and my friends came over and we played it together as well. We mastered the art of tricks without even seeing a full version of the game. Yeah, they really knew how to make great demo versions back then, that's for sure. But when the full version finally arrived, I couldn't afford it because I was poor and had no money. And I'm not talking about the original version, I have a pirated CD in mind that at the time cost around 20 liters in Lithuania. To put things in perspective, I have to say that my mama's salary was around 300 liters per month and the original CD of Tony Hawk 2 was priced around 200 liters, so only millionaires around here could afford those back then. So sadly this is all the experience I have with Tony Hawk, the best demo I have ever played. And I have to mention that I never play sports games, maybe I should start. And this version, according to people who actually played it, is one of the best remakes ever made. Around 90% of positive reviews can confirm that with ease. Slime Rancher 2. It seems that the second part of Slime Rancher is just as a hit as the first one, and more than 90% of positive reviews won't let me lie. Here you'll continue the adventures as you journey to Rainbow Island, a mysterious land brimming with ancient technology, unknown natural resources, and an avalanche of wiggling, jiggling new slimes to discover. As you attempt to unravel the island's secrets and uncover its true purpose, you will build, ranch, and farm within a beautiful conservatory, whose sparkling glass walls give you a full view of the prismatic paradise you now call home. So collect slimes never seen before on the far, far range. You know, like the bouncy cotton slime, or the aquatic angler slime, or a potato salad slime. Well, no, that even sounds wrong. No slime on my potato salad, please.
Fight Crab.
Mortal Kombat is for the weak. If you want to become a really strong and respectful warrior, there is another way better game for that. You may think that I am joking, but
Fight Crab
has 93% of positive reviews, so it's officially better than most fighting games ever released. You will take control of a simulated, physics-powered crab and fight various opponents with one basic rule: flip your enemy over to win. Take advantage of a wide range of equipment to beat your opponent down. Claws, swords, guns, armor, jet engines, and more. Maybe a dildo, I don't know. And you have to stop your opponent's blade with your pincers, run along walls, and generally go full-on crab with all the fighting techniques at your disposal. This game is just like you always wanted fight games to be, but probably never realized.
Fight Crab.
We'll end that ravenous fighting game hunger you were feeling for years.
Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe you are just a monkey on a branch in the zoo and you just like how my channel sounds.
Jusant. This is an action puzzle climbing game and a meditative journey to the top of a tall tower. It may not seem much, but the review score on Steam is way above 90%, and that is a proof that this game is amazing. Well, at least awesome. Here you will challenge yourself at your own pace, explore different ways to climb, and unravel the secrets of a bygone civilization. While playing, you will master your climbing tools and will have to watch your stamina meter to successfully navigate the mysterious and changing tower. Well, watching your stamina is not a thing I usually like in games. You know, when you watch your stamina bar, you actually miss the rest of the game. But Jusant is showing your stamina bar clearly and not somewhere in the corner, so it's done right. Anyway, as you go higher and hone your skills, you'll have to figure out how best to use the tools at your disposal to get where you want to go. What is the best way? Is there an alternative path? And yes, usually there are. You can explore them to find the clues about what happened here. The game doesn't rush you, you play at your own pace. As you climb, you come across beautiful biomes full of flora and fauna, accompanied by a beautiful and atmospheric soundtrack, although there is some danger as well. Arid, windy slopes can be deadly, so seek refuge in tunnels lit only by bioluminescence. The Invincible. The Invincible was written by Polish writer Stanisław Lem, the author of the very well-known Solaris. In general, I think that The Invincible should have been a movie, but I will take a game as well. So the plot of the book, I will try to tell you without spoilers, is revolving around an expedition who has landed on a distant desert planet, much like a Mars, but an itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny more alive one. And then bad things start to happen. Duh. All I can say that this plot is not a usual one where you land on some creepy rock and then some monsters start snatching your crew one by one. It's not like that. If you remember Solaris, you can realize that Stanisław Lem tried to avoid clichés and think of something more intriguing. So I can promise you that The Invincible is not a cliché story. It is really good, less psychological if you compare it to Solaris and more action-oriented. Also, if you played Firewatch, you will see where they took the inspiration from. Rage. The first Rage game is very Falloutish and more loved by players than Rage 2. You know, like your siblings are more loved than you and your family. So Rage is an interesting look into life after the end of everything. And that end came along with an asteroid. Not a very ingenious plot, but I guess still better love story than a zombie apocalypse. You know, there are hundreds of more interesting ways to end the world than these cliché scenarios. For example, beer could become sentient and take over the world, or cats suddenly mutate into psychics and when they are hungry, and that's all the time, they make you dance until you drop dead.
Dance, human, dance for me, meow meow.
I don't know, the possibilities of world ending are actually endless. Why stick to like 7 most boring ones? So here you emerge into this vast wasteland to fight against bandit gangs, mutants and the authority, an oppressive government regime that has a special interest in you in particular. Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. Here you are a supernatural assassin with one important mission. You have to kill a godlike figure called the Outsider. As you can imagine, killing someone who is actually godlike is not an easy job even for a supernatural assassin. You'll have to journey deep into the underbelly of the city, where you will unravel some of the lost secrets. Along the way you will infiltrate underground fight clubs and black magic cults, and then retrieve... Yeah, the rest of the game's description is plain spoilers on Steam, avoid reading it. Anyway, as you hunt down the Outsider, you will face off against a new cast of enemies along the way. Armed with your weapons, gadgets and abilities, you will have to take down deadly foes by accepting contracts to find and eliminate optional targets throughout your mission. So you are an actual hitman here, well, hitwoman more accurately, and the game has a very positive review score on Steam, so it's obviously not a bad game. Deathloop. It is a first-person shooter where two rival assassins are trapped in a mysterious time loop on a remote island, doomed to repeat the same day for eternity. Your only chance for escape is to end the cycle by assassinating 8 main targets before the day resets. Every new loop is your opportunity to change everything. You will use the knowledge you gain from each attempt to change your playstyle, so it is fair to say that it is a roguelite game and may not be appealing to everyone. Here you can choose to stealthily sneak through levels or jump into the fight. You know, guns blazing, shouting war cries and profanities. In each loop you'll discover new secrets, gather intel on your targets as well as on the island, and expand your arsenal. You will be armed with a host of otherworldly abilities and incredible weaponry, although I must warn you that the game's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. People on Steam are saying that the game is repetitive.
Yeah, who could have thought?
The Evil Within 2. Here you'll play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who has lost everything. Well, that is written in the game's description, but I honestly hope that he didn't lose his ding-dong. You know, that would suck. So anyway, you were given a chance to save your daughter, and have to descend into the nightmarish world. Horrifying threats emerge from every corner as the world twists and wraps around you. Here you can craft traps, sneak, run and hide, or try to battle the horrors with limited ammo. Sounds familiar, right? Yep, if you are a fan of Resident Evil, the second part of The Evil Within will hit you straight into your feelings. It's a really great game with more than 90% of positive review score. Metamorphosis. You wake up one morning to find that you are rather inconveniently transforming into a tiny bug, while your friend Joseph is being arrested for reasons unknown. Well, probably for swinging his ding-dong in public place once again. But, you know, he's your friend, you don't judge. So to save him and find the answers you seek, you must embark on a journey through a world which, like yourself, has become twisted and unfamiliar. What once seemed like mundane dwellings have become an expansive obstacle course, and now you'll have to chart your path through nooks and crannies that exist within the cracks of civilization. You will have to use your wits to unravel the truth and regain the life you once knew. Or not. You might just be a crazy wacko after all. I don't know. Also, you can download and play a free demo as well. In this Souls-like game, you are a puppet who's caught in a web of lies with monsters and untrustworthy figures. You are awakened by a mysterious voice that guides you through a plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. If this description reminds you of your ex, then all good, you are half ready for the adventure. Here you will develop a unique combat style to counter your enemies by weaving together dynamic weapon combinations and activating new abilities. Lies of P is a reimagined fairy tale of Pinocchio, reinterpreted as a dark, grim narrative. You know, a Pinocchio for adults. When you lie, it's not the nose that's growing. If you add another P to the name of the game, you will understand what I have in mind. No, really, nothing like that, it's a joke. I played the demo version of the game and all I gathered was, again, that I suck at Souls-like games and I shouldn't even touch them. If you are like me, avoid this title. Few hits from bigger enemies and you are dead, and you will have to replay the whole chapter again. If that doesn't scare you, keep in mind that the game has around 90% of the positive review score and is probably a thing you want to try. The Saboteur. A bit older game, but worthy of your attention without a doubt. The plot is set in an open-world Paris. You can climb the Eiffel Tower, snipe from Notre Dame Cathedral, and brawl on the Champs-Élysées as you sabotage your enemies. You will have to fight, climb and prowl through the dark alleys, rooftops, burlesque houses, and seedy streets. Motivated by retribution and armed with tactics of sabotage, you will blow up zeppelins, derail trains, implode bridges, destroy armored tanks, and level enemy facilities in the name name of vengeance in Nazi-occupied Europe. Here being the Saboteur is all about attacking while staying unnoticed. You will get your mission intel at underground clubs and cabarets, eliminate your adversaries with stealth attacks, disguise, distractions and explosives. Also master a variety of weapons, automobiles and skills to sabotage enemy operations. It's a fantastic game, absolute cult classic and a must-play for every action fan. Red Dead Redemption 2. Welcome to America, 1899. Here you are an outlaw on the run. You and your gang will have to rob, steal and fight your way to survive. You'll travel across a beautiful country and occasionally some people will ask for help and you can just politely decline. Or not, it's up to you. The game itself feels like an interactive cinematic film. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a beautiful emotional roller coaster. The story will leave you wondering if there is a pill you can drink to forget it so you could experience the game once again. And most importantly, your horse's testicles will shrink when it's cold.
Most importantly?
Yes, most importantly. Orcs Must Die 3. This is probably the most entertaining tower defense game I have ever played, and that is because here you are involved in the action as a third-person character. You actually run and shoot, hack and slash, and also you place various traps and turrets, so it feels very personal, and because of that you are not just a passive observer, you are actually the scariest turret for your enemies. And your enemies here are obviously orcs. Wave after wave they will swarm your castle, and after the end of every wave you will realize that you were holding your breath all the time. Relax, it's just a game. You can play solo or two-player co-op, arm yourself with a massive arsenal of weapons and slice, burn and zap hordes of repugnant orcs. The game is incredibly fun and at first seems easy.
Like your sister.
Oh come on, how dare you! Oh, but all this easiness is just a deception. Later games will turn into incredibly hard try again and again battles. One misplaced trap, one missed shot and you know, you're dead. Anyway, as I've said, this is an extremely entertaining game and I can recommend it without any doubts. Kill orcs and relax. Journey to the Savage Planet. As the newest recruit of Kindred Aerospace, the fourth best interstellar space exploration company, your job is to find out if this planet is suitable for humans. Well, honestly, probably not. Not at all, but you don't know that yet, and yet, here you are. You can play it alone or with a friend. Of course, you probably don't have one, so alone it is. This game may look like it's made for kids, but it's not. It has references of alien drugs and some more adult themes I don't think I can talk about if I want to stay monetized. But people are saying that the game has really great humor, awesome design of animals and plants, and really fun tools to use. Although some of the players are complaining that the game gave them headaches, like real headaches. Probably from oversaturated colors and lots of movement, so keep that in mind if you are a bit more sensitive person. Dandy Ace. So Dandy Ace is a fast-paced roguelike experience hugely inspired by Hades, but not blindly copying it. You'll become a fabulous magician seeking to combine and use your magical cards while fighting and looting your way to defeat the green-eyed illusionist who has imprisoned you in a cursed mirror.
Ooh.
While battling your way through this ever-changing place, combine different cards with more than 1,000 possibilities, each with their own playstyles and powers. People on Steam are saying that the game is quite difficult, but it has great visuals and the gameplay itself is very entertaining. Dandy Ace has a very positive review score on Steam, so it may be the game you are looking for. Subscribe. The Inheritance of Crimson Manor. Here you'll experience a Penny Dreadful-like gothic horror story set in a beautiful Victorian-era manor with a dark secret within. The horror aspect is only in the gothic dark tone narrative. Here you won't find any monsters or jump scares. It's a calm detective puzzle-solving experience enshrouded in an amazing atmosphere. To be honest, most puzzle games lack this outer layer to connect all the dots, to set the mood and so on, but The Inheritance of Crimson Manor does this in a charming way. Here you'll find Resident Evil-inspired level unlock design, dynamic hint system for less fortunate ones in the IQ field, logic and inventory puzzles, non-linear exploration, and a cool horror story that holds all of this together. You know, it holds the story and not your hand, or... If you know, you know. Looks like a nice title for your dark evenings. Light the candles around you for the atmosphere when you play. It will set the mood, believe you me. Spirittea. If you ever saw Hayao Miyazaki's masterpiece Spirited Away, you may be pleased to know that Spirittea is inspirited by this movie. The town here is crawling with troublesome souls, and you are the only one who can see them. So you'd better get that old bathhouse up and running. Maybe that will help them to chill out. The bathhouse is an ancient building hidden up in the mountain, and it's up to you to clean it up and fill it full of customers. And you better be sure that your customers are happy. Spirits aren't something you want to be angry at you. Like, have you seen The Ring? Anyway, once the beings visit your bathhouse, you'll need to clean towels, chop wood and heat the baths, and see the spirits with their friends for the ultimate bathing experience. So no stinky spirits in this game. Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. A nice title for turn-based game lovers. Here you will lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, against the corrupting forces of chaos in this brutal and fast-paced RPG. Yeah, somehow turn-based can be fast-paced as well.
Deal with it.
So here you will root out and put a stop to an insidious plot to infect the galaxy with the Bloom, an intergalactic cosmic plague capable of rotting worlds into oblivion. Armored with fate, shielded by devotion, your company's very existence is rooted in mystery and forced with mind wipes and executions. You will experience life in the 41st millennium and follow the journey of these elite warriors in a narrative-driven gameplay. The Pathless. This is a perfect game for fans of Journey and Abzu, although with a tiny bit of more action implemented. Here you will become the Hunter, a master archer who travels to a mystical island to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world. Soar through the air and forge a connection with your eagle companion. Perform fluid acrobatics and execute awesome trick shots with a unique archery system that allows effortless shooting while moving at high speeds. The evil won't rest until the world is destroyed, so what are you waiting for? And now I know that you are concerned about the most important thing. Can you pet the bird? And yes, you can, so it's automatically a good game. Also, it has very positive review score on Steam. Remnant 2. This is the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, best known as Dark Souls with guns. The game pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across beautiful but menacing worlds. Here you can travel alone or with friends as a team and explore strange new worlds and beyond, overrun by mythical creatures while trying to stay alive. There are multiple worlds to explore with different types of creatures, weapons and items. Game has branching quest lines, augments, crafting and loot rewards that will test the resolve of even the most hardened players in dynamically generated dungeons and areas. Most of the players are saying that the second part is better than the first one, meaning that developers learned from their past mistakes and made an actually awesome game. Weird West. You'll discover a dark fantasy reimagining of the Wild West, where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with creepy creatures. You will journey through the story of a group of atypical heroes, written into legend by the decisions you make. Each journey is unique and tailored to the actions taken. A series of high-stakes adventures where everything counts and the world reacts to the choices you make. You'll be often faced with brutal choices and consequences that can't be undone. Like, you know, when you put too much salt in your potato salad, you can't take it out. Well, actually you can make more potato salad without salt and mix everything together, so there is no moral here, just carry on. Sea of Thieves. Are you ready to become most notorious pirate in the world, take hostages and pillage ships for incredible wealth? That is great. If so, you can also try this game and treat it like a pirate simulator for your upcoming life of crime. So here you will explore a vast world filled with unspoiled islands and underwater kingdoms. Take on adventures to hunt for lost loot, forge a reputation with the trading companies and battle various foes, from phantoms and ocean crawlers to megalodons and the mighty kraken itself. And you know, after you kill the beast, keep in mind that krakens are very tasty with hot potatoes and lemon. Also here, obviously, you can try your hand at fishing, make maps to your own buried treasure, or choose from hundreds of other optional goals and side quests. And the game itself is not a short one. The estimated time to complete all 60 Sea of Thieves achievements is about 1000 hours. Make sure you have a lot of free time before buying. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Here you'll go after a rogue god over land and sea, captain your ship on a dangerous voyage of discovery across the vast unexplored archipelago region of the Deadfire. Also, have you noticed how all the names in fantasy games and books have some doomy and gloomy meaning?
Region of Deadfire, lands of crying souls, mountain of doom, sea of sorrow, forest of banshee screams,
and so on. Well, in the real world, all those places would probably have way less terrifying names given to them by locals, such as
Region of Rocks, Land of Dirt, the Volcano, Sea of Water, and Forest of Pedophiles.
yeah, this is an exception. Way more terrifying than Forest of Banshee Screams, to be fair. Don't go there for any reason. Anyway, all the names are way less poetic in the real world. So in Pillars of Eternity 2 you will bend the world to your will, as you explore the depths of infinite possibilities, including detailed character customization and total freedom of exploration. People on Steam comments are saying that the second part has more interesting quests and activities than the first one. Well, it's for you to judge. Age of Wonders Planetfall. A wonderful game for Age of Wonders and Heroes of Might and Magic fans. You'll emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people. Or, you know, ruin everything even more, why not? You will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from the militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and unicorn raccoon kittens of darkness. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Although they should make DLC for the Raccoon Kittens of Darkness, that's no doubt. So you will progress through each faction's missions using your wits, military strength and diplomacy. You know, become friends with some nasty faction and then backstab them. There is no shame on a way to greatness. You will explore planetary ruins and encounter other survivors as you unravel the history of a shattered civilization. Game has a nice single-player campaign and random skirmish maps. You can play it alone or dive into multiplayer battles and feel the shame of defeat. SCARLET Nexus. So here in the far distant anime future, a psionic hormone was discovered in the human brain, granting people extra sensory powers, and that changed the world as we knew it. As humanity entered this new era, deranged mutants known as Others began to descend from the sky with a hunger for human brains. Highly resistant to conventional attack methods, extreme measures needed to be taken to battle the overwhelming threat and preserve humanity. Those with acute extrasensory abilities known as psionics were our only chance to fight the danger from above. So I guess it is you and your anime heroes named Yuito and Kasani. You will have to complete both of their anime stories to unlock all the anime mysteries of a brainpunk future caught between technology and psychic abilities. Reviews are very positive, although people are saying that the game is quite generic and may not inspire you in any way. Northgard. This is an RTS game based on Norse mythology in which you play as a clan of Vikings vying for the control of Mysterio's newfound continent. In this simple strategy game you will find lots of victory conditions, atmospheric music, changing seasons, and, as you can see, pretty nice art design. Also, the game has a decent campaign with a pretty good story. Sadly, as I've mentioned many times before, Northgard's AI is cheating with infinite resources and manpower, meaning that developers couldn't create really good intelligence that could win against humans on its own. Well, I know that many strategy games do not have strong AIs, but they at least try. But you never know, maybe developers were AI geniuses, but they were afraid of accidentally making Skynet. You know, being accused of making a bad AI is one thing, but being responsible for a robot uprising that destroyed human civilization? Yeah, you know, better safe than sorry. Nevertheless, Northgard is a good RTS game for a few days, or maybe more. Maybe you will fall in love with it, you know, like tapeworm falls in love with your guts. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. This is an adventure with unique gameplay that blends investigation, action and exploration. It will test the limits of your nerves and intelligence. Yeah, this game is not for the faint of heart. The puzzles can be devilishly difficult, and the plot is full of twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. You'll have to track down evil in the darkest corners of London while playing as the great detective and untangle a web of intrigue leading to the final stunning revelation about the evil that lurks in the city. Is it real evil, or is it just Scooby-Doo level evil? I don't know. Well, I do, but this is not a channel of spoilers. This is a channel of games and potato salad, approved by a sister. Dune Spice Wars. At the beginning I was really surprised how light this game is. It only requires 4 GB of free space. What is this witchery? And because of that, Dune Spice Wars works incredibly smoothly. Loading times are almost non-existent, and the game itself launches very fast as well. A few seconds and you are in the main menu. I honestly can say that I am not used to this. The game itself looks like a casual 4X title, like Civilization, but it's not. It's a mix of 4X and real-time strategy. You start with your main base and then you have to expand. To do that, you need to explore surrounding areas with your ornithopter and find some resources. I mean areas rich in spice, having which is really nice. It rhymes because spice here is money, and money is nice. That always rhymes. Roses are red, violets are blue, money is nice. See? Anyway, I can recommend the game, I really liked it. Resident Evil Village. The story is set a few years after the events in Resident Evil 7. The all-new storyline begins when a man and his wife start living peacefully in a new location, free from their past nightmares and horrors. And just as they are building their new life together, then, you know, stuff happens. Otherwise, it would be a love story, not a fantasy story with horror elements. Village is one of the coolest games ever, with an atmosphere creepier than your neighbor-in-law.
Wait, what? That exists?
I don't know, I hope not. Also, this game is not a pure horror game as you can imagine. It's really not that scary, it's just creepy. And overwhelmingly positive reviews are here for a reason. This game is fantastic. Also, you can play the free demo version on Steam. The Witness. I hate this game. The Witness is for smart people with great memory, and I'm none of these people. And although I like puzzles and all that, but by playing Witness I realized that I'm way dumber than I imagined. So if you like to test your memory and IQ, this is a great title for you. Just keep in mind that the results can be a bit disappointing. The game itself is set in a beautiful open-world island where you have to crack all the riddles to unveil a terrible secret. If you are not some puzzle maniac, you will never get there. But at least the game will show you your limits. Creaks. The creators of Samorost and Machinarium created this masterpiece as well. I don't think they are capable of something not great. Most of their games have a Steam review score above 90%, and so does the Creaks. This is an immersive puzzle game that delights our eyes with its hand-painted visuals and precise animation. It also has great sound design and an eclectic original score from Hidden Orchestra. You'll proceed at your own pace at figuring out the solutions of dozens of carefully designed puzzles, explore the mansion for hidden paintings, and uncover the great secret. As developers say, Creaks is best enjoyed with a controller and a good pair of headphones. Call of Cthulhu. The year is 1924, and here you will take on the role of a private detective. But instead of catching cheating husbands and wives, you must do a bit more serious job, so you are sent to investigate the death of a well-known family on a remote island. What could go wrong? Yeah, you will probably meet some strange creatures, experience weird science, and even come face to face with a creepy cult. I mean, what else is there to do when you spend your time on an isolated island? Knit socks? Repaint the fences? Make potato salad? Although I doubt that you could find the best quality doctor's sausage here.
I am so bored. Yeah, me too. Let's join a cult.
But if you think about it, honestly, if the people of the island would do some sock knitting and repainting the fences for fun, maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't need to join a sinister cult for fun. Some food for thought. Anyways, people are saying that the story of the game is very interesting, engaging, and spooky. But Call of Cthulhu doesn't let you explore much. It is more focused on nice cutscenes, and it does feel more like an adventure game. STASIS Bone Totem. Perhaps I should start with the fact that the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. That is always a great sign. Here you will take control of Mac and Charlie, a husband and wife duo who make their living by searching the ocean for salvage. But when you stumble upon an abandoned oil rig in the Pacific Ocean, you uncover a horrific secret, and the evil corporation behind it will do anything to keep it hidden. As you embark on your adventure, you will encounter an immersive narrative filled with spine-tingling horror and unexpected twists. STASIS Bone Totem, despite being a psychological horror game, is kinda relaxing because of the point-and-click nature and an interesting puzzles to solve. No Man's Sky. This is an alive project. Updates are constant, the game is getting better and better every year. And by saying constant updates, I'm not kidding. I have noticed that they update the game every month, or even more often. Here every star is the light of an actual distant sun, each orbited by planets filled with life, and you can go to any of them. The game is actually enormous. Of course, that size is only available because of procedural generation. So the real question is your mama procedurally generated?
Oh, come on, how dare you?
I'm sorry, no I'm not. So here you fly from deep space to planetary surfaces without loading screens. In this infinite universe you will discover places and creatures that no other players have seen before, and perhaps never will again. So it is tailored for those who want to go where no human boldly went before, or for those who want to find the best place in the galaxy, which is called ColdBeer, everyone knows that. Also keep in mind that every other player lives in the same galaxy and you can choose to share your discoveries with them on a map. That is cool. Darkwood. If you could imagine a Lovecraftian forest with all the horrors in it, Darkwood checks all the marks. It is heavily inspired by, for example, Color Out of Space, and even has some Easter eggs in this field. When I played it, I felt that creators probably took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King as well, who is himself a fan of Lovecraft, and you can feel the influence in many of his novels, starting from madness-infusing Shining to the horrors of the unknown in The Mist. So the Darkwood makes you feel that you are trying to survive in one of these stories. Creepy monsters, inhabitants and ever-changing woods surround your every step. By day you collect resources and explore the area, but by night you must barricade yourself in a safe place because various beasts of horror will try to make you, less alive. So every night is a battle for survival, and every day is another chance to make your fortress stronger. Story is great, the gameplay is great, and the game is simply a must-play. Doors Paradox. Have you ever played the game named The Room? This is basically the same. You'll try to search for clues, click on things, unlock various drawers, attach pipes, melt uranium, and do many other crazy things in order to unlock the doors to the next level, which will contain more doors. Yeah, here you'll find 58 door puzzles, set in 13 unique realms. The puzzles are not very hard. I played the demo, you can also try it on Steam for free, and I don't think I was seriously stuck in any place. But I have to warn you, the game is actually addictive. I just wanted to solve one door to make an impression about the game, but I spent an hour or so solving puzzle after a puzzle. Game is really satisfying and well made. Disco Elysium. This is one of the greatest role-playing experiences you will ever have, but play it only if you like reading a lot and like games without combat. You will not find any here. Well, I mean combat that is not a result of your dialogue choices. Your character will do things automatically based on the decisions you make, and those decisions of yours are not always very smart. And Disco Elysium just lets you do stupid things, which is kinda scary because suddenly you may realize that you just wanted to test the waters, but instead you actually made the decision that will have grim consequences. And by grim, I mean really grim. On some of those occasions, the game just ends. You may see game over screen without even playing an hour. And the game is like,
I told you, but you pushed me hard, so the consequences are yours to swallow.
yeah, actually Disco Elysium has 3 different endings and 12 unique game overs. Those I talked about before. So always, and I mean always, think twice before doing something stupid, and then think twice while playing Disco Elysium as well, because no matter how stupid the decision you want to make is, the game may let you do it. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.